Hey guys, what is up? Welcome back to my channel. My name's Berlin. If you haven't been here before, welcome. Hi, I mostly talk about kind of beauty guru drama, gossip, that kind of thing. But today's video is actually going to be a bit about Perez Hilton. Perez Hilton got into a bit of a Twitter spat yesterday with somebody called Margot Indigo, who is a commentary kind of YouTuber. And we're going to get into what happened and some of my thoughts right now. First of all, excuse the crazy hair and makeup. I was feeling a bit festive and just playing around. So this video, let's get into it. Perez Hilton on Twitter basically went at a YouTube creator called Margot Indigo, and he was kind of going at her because apparently she'd called him a paedophile, and she's apparently been on his case for about 7 months over this. So yesterday there was a live stream. I'll try and link that down below. There was a live stream where Margot got to confront Perez over this, and I listened to it all. It was good because Margot just straight up gave it to Perez, told him, right, well, you know, you don't want to be called a paedophile, then don't do things that a paedophile would do. Which, simple, yep, I agree with her. So the things that Perez Hilton has done to be called a paedophile are things like in 2016, he took an underskirt photo of Miley Cyrus allegedly without underwear. She was 17 at the time, so she was technically a minor. He posted it to the internet, so technically that's like child pornography. That's why it's so problematic. The other thing that Perez has done is he's had photos of his children that he's posted on Instagram and such, where his children have been naked, which of course is like a, you know, you're feeding people out there who are paedophiles if you do that. You know, it's just a kind of safety thing in my eyes, my opinion. If you're going to, you know, hold your children upside down naked or whatever for the world to see on social media, when you're a celebrity or a well-known person with a large following on social media, you're just opening yourself up to paedophiles watching your children, basically, which isn't cool, you know. And this is what the girls were trying to explain to Perez in the live stream yesterday. Whether he got it or not, I don't know, but this is what they were trying to get across to him, and I thought they did a really good job of trying to, you know, explain it to him and say, look, this is why your behaviour has been so problematic. This is why you're being called a paedophile, because you have done things that a paedophile would do. In the live stream, I actually thought Perez came across very childish, almost like he was throwing a tantrum, like he didn't want to listen to what Margot had to say, all of this stuff. But the main thing is, because, you know, Margot has called Perez out on this stuff, Perez has fired back at Margot, calling her a junkie, because Margot has a history with drugs. Now, this is another topic that I really want to talk about, and this is the whole reason why I'm actually making this video, because I also have a past with drugs. And when you hit below the belt like that and call somebody a junkie, it's disgusting, it's degrading. I mean, Margot said, oh, you know, that word doesn't bother me, junkie, but I'm going to give you my perspective as an addict, you know, a recovering addict, you know, whatever you want to say. I'm going to give you my perspective because I think that was way below the belt. And in my opinion, he only did it because he's a man being called out by a woman. He only lashed out at Margot and called her that because she's a woman. You know, he didn't go off at any man or anyone else calling him out. He's gone at Margot, who is a woman. So it's also got a kind of misogynistic undertone to it for me as well. Perez was also accusing Margot of needing attention, which I thought was his way of trying to deflect from what the real issue is, which is his behaviour, the things that he has done that are considered child porn. You know, that was what the conversation was about. And Perez kind of trying to make it about Margot and, oh, Margot's called me this, and attacking Margot. I felt like he was really taking away from what the actual issue is, which was him looking at his own behaviour. In my eyes, anyone who is strong enough to battle addiction is a hero, in my eyes. Anyone who is strong enough to get up every day, look themselves in the mirror and say, I'm not going to use today, or I'm not going to drink today, is a fucking hero. Point blank. You know, I think that Perez didn't realise what he was doing when he called Margot a junkie. I mean, I know I've heard other people on the internet do this to other people when they're trying to be mean to them, and it's not cool. It's not cool for so many reasons. You know, we as addicts are fighting that battle with ourselves every single fucking day. So I'm just going to talk a little bit about my history with drugs and addiction and all of that. I'm 6 months sober from alcohol, and I'm 15 years clean from drugs. So I used to take a lot of amphetamines and various other substances. The last kind of time that I took drugs, I was in a squat with other people, and I was on amphetamines, ketamine, all these other substances. I was a complete slave to drugs. That was my life, you know. It's not the easiest thing to talk about, but it's something that I want to talk about because I believe the more people come out and talk about it, it might give some hope to people who are still battling with their addictions, to people who are still using maybe, or, you know, are trying to get clean. I just think the more people that talk about difficult topics like this, you know, hopefully it can just give some hope to somebody. So I'm sorry I'm a little bit nervous talking about this, but I think it's something that needs to be talked about. So I was an addict for years, going from like my late teens into my early 20s. And what that did to me as a person, it like really threw me off track career-wise. You know, it's taken an awful lot to get to where I am now, to get to the point of being 6 months alcohol free. It's taken a lot. You know, it hasn't been an easy thing at all, because alcohol and substances, all these things, they're all readily available in the world that we live in. You know, I'm here in the UK, in the US, I'm sure it's the same. It's very easy to get your hands on substances. So especially now that we've all been in lockdown for months, that really has effect on people's mental health. And especially if you're an addict and you're used to having that routine of getting up, going to work and all that kind of stuff, your daily routine has been taken away from you. You're left alone with your head, and that's very dangerous for addicts, because, you know, that can be very tempting for us then to fall back into all our old ways and use again or drink, you know, and we can very easily go off track when our mental health starts to suffer. So that's the point that I'm trying to make right now during the pandemic, when people have been locked up for months on end, their mental health is suffering, and you want to throw out junkie as an insult. It's not cool. You know, why are you trying to trigger somebody to use again? Why are you trying to trigger somebody who you know has had a past with substance abuse? Even for somebody like me who is 15 years off drugs, even for me, every day when I get up, it's a battle, because any little thing that stresses you out, you know, in your head immediately you go to, oh well, if I was on drugs, if I was using drugs now, that will take that away. You know, you have to fight with your head to get around that daily. So for somebody to try and trigger another person to relapse is disgusting. You know, you can't just be throwing that around willy-nilly in people's faces when somebody has been through a hard, horrible battle like that. For me, certainly, I know that, like, when I came off drugs, I didn't go into a rehab program. That's where, like, my journey might be different to some other people's. I'm not saying, you know, I'm the voice for all addicts, because I'm not, but I'm sharing my experience. I didn't go into a rehab facility. I stayed at home and I went cold turkey completely. It was the worst experience of my life, without a doubt. Without a doubt, it was the worst experience. I don't wish anyone to go through it, but I do hope that people who are using can get well and can get through it, because it is so worth it. You know, you will feel so much better about yourself if you can push through it and just, you know, get to a place where you don't use, you will feel amazing. You will feel proud of yourself. You'll look back at the old you and you won't recognise the old you. When you're using junkie to troll somebody who's calling you out on behaviour that you've done that's problematic, you know, that does actually fall under the category of child porn in Perez Hilton's case, when somebody calls you on that fuckery and then you immediately throw out junkie, trying to then trigger them, that makes you the shitty person. You're the one who's done these shitty actions that speak for themselves. So don't be surprised when people call you on it. As addicts, we have had to take accountability for our own behaviour. We have had to take full accountability. We've had to basically look at ourselves, take inventory, look at all our behaviour, look at the wrongs that we're doing and try and right them. We've had to make amends with people in our lives, family, friends, whoever, people that we've hurt. So for Perez Hilton to sit there and act like a child when he's called out on some of his problematic behaviour, and he's a 42-year-old man, for him to sit there and insult Margot, who has, you know, been through addiction, taken a look at herself, changed her behaviour, grown from it, learnt from it, for him to insult her over that is fucking stupid. And it's rude. Because she was trying to point out to him, your behaviour has been problematic. She's looked at her problematic behaviour in, you know, being an addict. She's helped herself. She's grown and learned from it. Perez is now at a stage where he needs to grow up, learn from it, you know, take accountability for his own actions, look inside himself. Instead of just trying to criticise Margot, that's what he really needs to do, in my opinion. He needs to look at himself, look at his own behaviour, take responsibility for himself. Because Margot's already taken responsibility for herself. So, you know, he can throw out junkie, junkie, junkie all he wants. But Margot has done the work. She's taken responsibility for herself. And obviously Perez is like a celebrity gossip columnist, you know, a bit like an internet drama channel. You know, he's got a YouTube channel where he does kind of little tea videos. I call it tea very loosely. He does tea videos, but, you know, he does the same kind of thing that I do, which is talking about celebrities. You know, same thing that a lot of other drama channels do, which is talking about celebrities. So why is he coming for another creator just because she called him out on a lot of his problematic behaviour? That to me shows me someone who's very childish. You know, at his big age of 40 that shows me somebody who's really childish, really not ready to look at themselves and take responsibility, take accountability for their own wrong, you know. So guys, I am gonna stop this little video here because I think I've said enough. You know, I hope it made some kind of sense. I'm sorry if it's been a bit of a depressing one today, if it's been a bit of a downer, but it was something that I wanted to comment on because of my history and also because it's something that not a lot of people do come and talk about. You know, you've got people who are amazing like Russell Brand. He's someone who is really, really good to listen to when it comes to talking about addiction. You know, I find he's really, really encouraging and really makes a lot of sense. You know, I've read his books, I watch him on YouTube and stuff as well. He's just really inspiring and really motivational. So if you're struggling and you need someone to kind of help get you through it, there are people like Peter Mon, Russell Brand, you know, here on YouTube. Go for it, you know, look at those creators because they're positive voices, they're positive about recovery, and they help me certainly on days when I'm struggling. So hopefully if you're struggling, they can help you too. So guys, I'm gonna leave this one here. I'm gonna say goodbye, take care, stay safe, stay well. I'll see you on the next one. Bye.